Bling. Which? Hello there. Are you a fan of magic cards, but also enjoy some Japanese manga from time to time? Then you have to read this one here. It's called Destroy All Humankind, They Can't Be Regenerated, and currently it's my favorite manga series for sure. So what do we have here? This manga is published in Japan in a magazine for adults born in the 80s or early 90s and is written by Ise Katsura and drawn by Yokota Takuma. Maybe you haven't heard these names before, but I can tell you they are doing a great job on this one. They made a pilot episode first and got tons of positive feedback by the fans, so they continued and made this into an ongoing series with several volumes by now. Now I want to show you some images of the pilot episode, so that you can get an idea of the style, the characters, and the fact that they are playing Magic the Gathering most of the time. Yeah, that's right. They are playing with actual Magic cards there that you will recognize from your collection, if you happen to have some cards from sets like Invasion or Urza Saga. The cards that were printed back in the days. The first TCG ever by Richard Garfield was really popular amongst Japanese kids and adults. And other games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokémon followed in its footsteps. Their intention with this story is to go all nostalgia and to reach out for those who had some of the best years of their childhood in 1998 and 1999, when the PlayStation 1 and games like Final Fantasy VII and certain anime were popular amongst teenagers. And those teenagers are our protagonists in a school romance story. I've read reviews of different people on the internet, some Magic fans and some that just wanted to enjoy a good romance manga, and all agree that this is a quite entertaining story, even those who don't play Magic and know nothing about the game itself. So let's jump into some pages here. First I want to show you our main character. The name is Hajime, who is quite the smart student and just went second on a test amongst all second graders of his school. But his eternal rival, Savatari, beats him again for the first place. She's a perfect girl everyone is jealous of, and Hajime really wants to beat her only once, ever since they met each other in elementary school. As the story proceeds, the boys play together with their cards and spread a rumor that there is this card shop in a town nearby that even sells old boosters and singles. Hajime, who is also the most passionate gamer amongst them, wants to visit it first to get some good cards for his deck to outclass all his classmates. But there again sits Savatari, having a streak of wins against all of the much older dudes and asking for a next opponent. Apparently she's also a Magic ace, and Hajime, who really is confused that she plays this game, wants to take his chance to show off something where he could be better than her. So he challenges her, but hides his face under a baseball cap and introduces himself as Cloud. So it's Hajime with mono black against Savatari with mono white, and she crushes him, but after the defeat some cards go flying under the table, and there the girl suddenly recognizes her schoolmate and is really shocked. She leaves the shop in a hurry, even forgetting her cards. The next day Hajime gives those back to her, but instead of being grateful, she threatens him never to tell anybody that she was in that shop and that she plays a nerdy game like this. She wants to keep her status as the perfect girl, and the other students may speak ill of her when they find out about this hobby. I hope nowadays this is not an issue in your school anymore. Magic is a great game for boys and girls alike. Our protagonist promises to keep it secret, but only if they have a rematch at the store, and when he wins, she has to accept him as her rival. So they game on later, and Hajime almost beats her with some dark ritual combos, but then she plays a really nasty card and defeats him again. But nevertheless, she shakes hands with him, and finally acknowledges his skills. At the end of the day, they come a little closer to each other, and the one thing she wants him to do as a prize for the win is, he shall be at her side when the world ends. This is a little quirk of the comic. In the late 90s, many people all over the world believed the world will end when the next millennium arrives, and so they have some reference here and there to a demon god king that will play a wrath of God on them. So this is what you will see in the pilot episode, and if you continue reading from this point on, the beginning is told again in the first chapters, and then the whole plot gets bigger and bigger with more interesting characters and lots of funny and heartwarming moments. Also lots of Magic's history, like the release of the Urza block, the first Unset, and Combo Winter. It's so much fun reading about all this here. And if you want to know where you can read it, in the links in the description below you will find the homepage of Fallen Angels, an unofficial group of fan translators who get this manga in Japan right after release and publish it online in English for us non-Japanese fans to enjoy it, long before it gets any official translation or publication in other countries. These small fan translators always ask for your support because they're doing it for you. They are sort of in a legal limbo with these unofficial publications of the stories. They want you to stop sharing their stuff once the manga gets licensed in your country and encourage you to buy the official books then to support the original creators. And I'm 100% buying this manga once it gets published in Germany or the US. The biggest question is this ever going to be released outside of Japan? We have this little copyright by Wizards of the Coast note on some pages here, so I can imagine it's licensed by Wizards in Japan. But I can imagine that for Wizards in the States, this story is nothing they want to publish under their licenses. Because the Japanese school life in the late 90s is not something many people in other countries can relate to. But I can, and I hope, I will be wrong with this assumption, and this manga gets a lot more popular amongst Magic fans as it is by now. I really am enjoying it these days. Every other week a new chapter is uploaded by Fallen Angels, and after reading I always want to have the next one right away. As I mentioned before, you can find it in the links in the description below. Please leave a comment with your opinion on this manga once you read it. Thanks for watching this video and see you next time.